Hi, welcome to our first session. My name is Melanie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Doing good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to get into it here. So there's a couple things that we have to go over first. So the first piece is the confidentiality. So I don't have to tell anybody what you tell me. You can tell me whatever you want, and I won't have to tell your friends, family, legal authorities. I won't have to tell any of them unless there's two things. If it can cause harm to somebody else around you or yourself, then I'll be forced to tell. So just so you know that before getting into it.
Okay.
What would you like to start off with? What are your issues? Are you having any specific things that you want to talk about?
So, my boyfriend and I, we've been together for a year, and we just recently found out that we're going to have a baby.
It's exciting.
And it is exciting, and I'm happy about it. I'm just a little scared because I feel like I'm not going to be any good at it. I just never really had a good experience or anything to learn from. And, it's not that it's never been part of the plan for me and him. This isn't like, it's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just I have concerns because, he, of course, is going to be there to support me, but I feel like he doesn't really understand that my role is maybe a little bit bigger. And, he's super excited, and he's probably more excited about the test than I was. But I feel like he just doesn't understand, yes, he's going to have an important role in the baby's life, but I just, I have concerns, I don't know what to do, what are they supposed to be eating? When are they supposed to be eating it? Do I give them too much attention? Do I give them too little attention? I've taken classes where it's like, if you do this, your kid will end up this way, but if you're like this, your kid will end up this way, and I just feel like it's a lot to take in, and I worry that I'm not going to be any good at it.
So you're feeling a little bit anxious and maybe paranoid that you're not going to do the right thing, and I totally understand that. And if you grew up maybe where your parents weren't as there for you, or you had, growing up, you didn't get treated, you think, properly, then that can definitely be feelings that you can still hold and take with you when you have a child. Can you tell me a little bit about your childhood?
So, my mother and I never really had a good relationship at all. She just was never there when I needed her, and I'd finally, something would happen, like a big thing would happen, and I would right away be like, I need to talk to my mom. It would get to the point where I just needed to talk to her, but she would just brush me off, and it just made me feel so just unheard and not validated in a way. And so when I first met my boyfriend, we've only been together for a year, but we moved in together around like the 5-month mark, just because I needed somebody that validated me in an environment where I felt good, and I just never really had that with her. And so I'm just scared, because they say that it's a cycle. Like, if my mom didn't treat me right, well, like, what if me as a mother, I don't treat my kid right? And I guess I'm just worried about habits, old habits coming out.
And of course that can happen, but you have to know that it won't always happen. So you have to not go into parenting with that mindset. And there's things that we can do and things to learn that you won't have to be a parent like your mother was, just so we know that.
It's not like I've never had support systems before. My mom was married, and she had remarried. And my stepfather was great, and we had this great relationship, and I feel like my mom, she resented that a little bit, and she didn't like it as much, so she divorced him, and he felt like he needed to leave. And so him and I talk every now and then, but I feel like the bond is not strong enough anymore that I could ask him to come to help me.
Okay, so that could be something we can look towards, because if you feel like you don't have too many trustworthy people in your life, that's always an option to go back and reconnect with him if you feel like that's a trusting adult in your life. Do you think that your mom was maybe jealous of your relationship with your stepfather, and that could have kind of torn them apart?
I feel like she was, I feel like she just wasn't, just jealous in a way. I feel like, because, when I would feel, unheard by her, I would go to him, and I just feel like yeah, I'm just worried. And I'm worried that my kid might feel that way about, you know, his or her dad. Like, of course, I want them to have a strong relationship, but I really want to have a strong relationship because I want to do what my mom couldn't do for me. But I'm also scared that that's gonna coddle them and overprotective them, and I don't want to be some helicopter mom. But yeah, so I'm worried that the fact that I didn't see a good positive relationship, that I'm gonna transfer that over.
And that's a fair feeling to have. You just have to know that there's no right way to parent a child, and there's lots of different ways, and none of them are wrong or right. It's just how the parent chooses to parent their child. And I think that one thing you can do is learn off of what your mother didn't do for you, and so you'll know what not to do. And I know with myself, my parents were never around too much, and I have kids of my own, and what I did to help me is just I didn't do what my parents did, and that helped me a lot because I know how it feels to be left behind and not have much attention. So I just did what my parents didn't do, and I think that's something you can really do. So don't be worried that you're not gonna be a good parent, but you'll know what not to do.
Okay. Oh, we're at 8 minutes. Sorry.
That's good.
Yeah, so I feel like, you know, I'll be able to kind of figure things out, I think, as I go, but I think my biggest concern is I'm worried that all the pressure is going to be left on me. Like, I'm worried about the baby not having other places to go to.
Okay. So you mentioned your boyfriend, and you said that he's very excited for this. How do you think your relationship will still be going with him? So I feel like you've only been together for a year, which isn't that long, but as long as things are going good and smoothly, that doesn't matter how long you've been together. Do you think that your relationship will still be solid once the baby comes? Are you worried about that piece?
No, I'm not too worried about that. I feel like it's going to be okay. Yeah, like I said before, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, having a baby was never out of the question, but it was never something that we had talked about either. So it's sort of like, it's something that happened that we're just going to kind of roll with.
Exactly. That's a good mindset to have.
I think. So, I'm not too worried about our relationship. I want the baby to have other things. You know, I mean, for me, I loved having my grandma around, and I feel like because of the way that I was treated, I don't want my baby to have that relationship with my mom.
You mentioned you were an only child.
Yes.
So you don't have any siblings that could be there for the child, but are you close with your grandparents at all?
I am close with my grandparents. They're just sort of, you know, they live a few hours away, so it's not as easy to, you know.
Because becoming a new parent, I think it's pretty important to have people that are there for you, trusting, caring, people that have experience. So you mentioned your stepfather, and I know that you guys aren't as close as you used to be, but do you think that you'd want to reach out to him at all?
I do want to, but I feel like he's afraid to come back here, and I feel like I also can't come to him for help, because when him and my mom were going through the divorce, I mean, yes, I was quite a bit younger, but I didn't do much. I feel like I didn't do as much as I should have, and I feel like now going back to him and asking for help is, I don't know if he would go for that.
Okay. Well, it doesn't hurt to take a chance. And I get that you feel like maybe you didn't put as much effort in as you could have, but having a baby is a big thing, and I think that a lot of people that have been parents before can obviously relate to that, and I think that he would want to be there for you. So if you'd feel comfortable with it, we can set a few goals and have a few plans of action to initiate that for you.
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't want to do that. I feel like my boyfriend is great support, but I feel like I would like that extra
help.
Yeah.
And does your stepfather and mom, are they still in contact at all?
No, they're not really. So that's another thing. I'm worried about it causing stress
in the family dynamic.
So, I'm worried about that as well.
That's a fair concern to have, but you have to remember to put yourself before your mom's feelings or other people's feelings, and just do what's best for you and the new baby in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think is the best way to reach out to him? Does he live close by? Do you have his number?
No, he lives a few hours away. He
well.
kind of moved out of the city.
Yeah,
just kind of. I do have his phone number. We do talk every now and then. We just kind of catch up, and I haven't had a chance to kind of update him
on the news
yet. So
well, that could be the first step, is just to reach out to him again, just like you normally do, and do the check-in. And while you're checking in, you can tell him the new information that you have.
I think I should kind of ease into it.
Ease him in,
just because I feel like asking him like right off the bat for support. I feel like that might scare him away a little bit.
Might be a bit much at first. Yeah, exactly.
So, maybe I can just maybe call him, and I think just be like tell him, update him a little bit.
For sure. I think that's a really good plan to have.
Yeah.
Decided on a very idealistic goal for you, and just know that it's on your own pace. Whenever you feel ready, I feel like it'll be a good idea for you to reach out to your stepdad and just take it how slow you want it. If you want to move quickly with it, that's totally up to you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like it's something I definitely want to do. I had never really thought about it, I guess, until I kind of came out with it. So I think I want to do it as soon as possible.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So we'll meet again in about a week if that works with you, and then we'll catch up again and see how it worked.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you next week. Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good.
You're good? Okay, so let's recap the last session we had last week. So we set a couple goals. You said that you were feeling a little bit stressed out about becoming a new mom soon, and you wanted to reach out to your stepfather because you feel like you have no really trustworthy adults that could help you with the process. And how did that go?
It went well. I actually talked to him. Yeah, he was very excited. I was telling him kind of about my concerns about how I feel like I don't know what to do. And he kind of said the similar thing that you said. He just said it kind of comes naturally, that it's going to be something that I kind of figure out as I go. And he said that he was there for me, or he will be there for me, I guess, for the support and everything. And he thinks that the relationship with my boyfriend is going to be fine because, he knew him and met him prior to. So he knows kind of about our relationship. So he said that he feels like confident, and it kind of made me feel better knowing that he's kind of on my side in a way. And so I guess just my next concern, I guess, is that even though my mom and I don't have a very good relationship, I still kind of feel like I'm going behind her back a little bit.
Okay, so you feel like you're almost sneaking around your mom, and she probably wouldn't be happy with you to feel that, and she might feel like she was not trusted.
Yeah, I don't want her to feel like she's not included.
Okay. And what is your relationship like with your mom? How often do you guys see each other?
We don't really see each other that often. We do talk on the phone a bit, just because she kind of calls me.
Okay, so she reaches out to you.
She reaches out to me more, just because I feel like I sometimes don't want to reach out to her. She was the first person that I did tell about the pregnancy, besides my boyfriend, obviously.
Yes.
But, I don't want her to feel like I'm not including her, like I'm going behind her back talking to my stepfather, but at the same time, I feel like I kind of almost have a right to not include her. And that makes me feel kind of guilty. So that's another thing I'm struggling with, is like I'm feeling guilty about it, but I feel justified in it.
Exactly. You shouldn't feel guilty about it, because you're right, she wasn't there for you when you were a child and you needed it, but that doesn't mean that you can't have a relationship with your mother now. So would you be open at all to reaching out to her as well more, and like wanting her in the baby's life?
I do want her to be in my life, just because she is my mother, but I feel like we do have a lot to work through, and I feel like that's something that I think is important, because I don't want the stress of that along with, like, the stress of having that. So I feel like once I got, now that I have my stepfather kind of out of the way, in a way, I think...
You can touch bases with your mom.
Yeah, I think, because I do want that. I do want her to have a part, because, what kind of person would I be if I told her she couldn't have a part in her grandchild's life?
You might just feel bad in the future if you feel like you chose your stepfather over your mother, and I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
So I think that could be good, reaching out to her for sure, and just trying to make good with her and not have that relationship where you feel like you can't trust her, and that will take time and it's hard considering your guys' past, but I think there's steps that we can for sure take to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where to start. I feel like it's not the same as, with my stepfather. I had called him and we had already had that, so I know that the conversation was going to be positive, but with my mom, I never know which way it's going to go. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure, I guess, where to start with that.
Do you think a phone call would be best? Would you like to set up a coffee date with her, or we can even do a counseling session with your mother?
I feel like, I'm not too sure, because I feel like it's not the kind of thing that you could do over the phone.
Yeah.
But I also feel like the face-to-face is too intimidating.
Too much at first.
So I'm honestly not sure.
Torn.
I am torn. I feel like if I was to pick between the two, I think the phone call would probably be best, just because I can kind of prep myself a little bit beforehand.
What makes you so nervous about doing it in person?
We have a hard time. I feel like we both read into each other too much, and we kind of jump to, conclusions with each other, on our behaviors, I think. So I feel like over the phone, she can't really see what I'm doing, so she can't read into it too much. So, and I just think it's so intense, I think, being face to face with her. Yeah, just because we've never really had face to face conversations in my whole childhood, so it's kind of something that's foreign to us.
Exactly, and that's not fair for you that your mom wasn't as there for you. Can you tell me more about your childhood? Like, was she just not around?
Just kind of how I said before, she just kind of dismissed me and didn't make me feel validated at all, and she was around, but she was kind of around for the things that she needed to be around for.
She didn't put the extra effort in?
Yeah.
Okay.
She made the dinner, she did the laundry, all that, but, we never had,
that personal connection.
Yeah, we never had, like, shopping dates or, like, coffee dates or little, like, hangouts. We never did that, and, I got to a point where I kind of just accepted it. At first, it really bothered me, like, when I was in my, like, earlier kind of teenage years. I saw, girls and their moms do that all the time. I was always out and I would see them do it, and it bothered me for a little bit that I never did that, but after a while I just kind of started to accept it, and
Yeah, I can see how that could hurt you when all of your other friends are doing special things with their parents and their mother, and you didn't have that. And I guess that's something that you can take into consideration with your child, but maybe that's something you can ask your mom about when the time comes, if you feel comfortable with that, and just ask her, Mom, why was it me? Like, did I do something wrong? Which, of course, it isn't going to be you, but maybe that will lead her to tell you more of what she was struggling with. I think that could be a good step as well, just to rebuild your relationship a bit, because, of course, it's not going to be perfectly strong, but I think that there's steps you can take to rebuild that.
Yeah, I think that just maybe presenting it to her would be a good idea, because for all I know, maybe she doesn't know that I feel this way.
Exactly.
And I guess I never really thought of it that way.
Have you ever told her how you felt?
Well, we've had our fights and our scraps, and I've kind of, told her, like, oh, like, I remember saying, like, oh, like, you're a bad mom, or, like, you don't listen to me, or I've told her that I feel that way, but I don't think that I've told her in, like, a way that we can build off of it. I've just kind of yelled at her and slammed my door, and that's kind of...
So I think communication is going to be really important for you and your mom. So by telling her maybe how you feel and what you think that she was doing wrong in a way that won't make her feel like a terrible parent, but just express your concerns, and that way she can tell you her side of the story and what she was going through at that time, because you never know what she was experiencing on her own personal life that could have led her to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, we've never had a conversation or talked, so yeah, I think I want to do that, and I want to talk to her, but perfect. I feel like probably over the phone
would be best. Yeah, whatever is most comfortable for you, I'll be there to support that decision for sure.
Yes, I think that's what
you'll do. Okay.
Yeah.
So this will wrap up the session. Mm-hmm. So if you want to talk to your mom, and I'll have you in again in about a week's time, and we'll see how we can go from here.
Yeah, perfect.
Have a nice day.
Thanks.
Bye.
You too.